You've never heard the story I'm bringing you today before. Y&R Early Week Spoilers October 13th to 17th, Claire's Adventure, New Characters Debut, Sharon's Horror. Want more of The Young and the Restless? Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? Report ad. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of October 13th indicate some twists and turns. Fans can expect Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, to go on her Los Angeles adventure. New characters debut. Plus, Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, face some horror. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Claire Grace Newman's adventure. With Nick, Sharon, and Noah in Los Angeles with the newcomers, other Genoa City residents will also be in the big city. Expect Claire to go on her adventure with Holden Novak, Nathan Owens. However, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinle, indicated she was going to follow Claire. It seems that Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, will also be in LA, and might even save Claire from trouble. At least, that might be his cover story, /. Fans know that Claire was desperate for space and distance from Kyle. The girl kept telling him to let her think and process things. However, Kyle just won't let things go and might chase her down. Even if he does save Claire from Holden's adventure, I'm not sure if she is going to appreciate it. It seems that Kyle is doing everything he can to push Claire away forever. Kyle might even push Claire right into Holden's arms and bed. There is a lot that we don't know about Holden, and from Audra Charles's, Zuleika Silver, description, the man likes to live dangerously. What is this? Claire Grace Newman vanishes into the woods. What she discovered will leave you speechless. Claire Grace Newman has always been the heart of mystery and emotion in Genoa City, but nothing could have prepared fans for her latest and most shocking storyline yet. The quiet young woman, who once seemed fragile and lost, is now at the center of a chilling, emotional, and transformative tale that is captivating every The Young and the Restless viewer. When word spreads that Claire has vanished into the dark woods on the outskirts of town, fear ripples through the Newman family, and what she discovers out there will change everything forever. It all starts on what was supposed to be a peaceful day. Claire, determined to find clarity after weeks of emotional chaos, tells her Aunt Victoria she needs time to think. Haunted by the secrets of her past, the manipulations of Jordan, and the never-ending pressure of being part of the powerful Newman dynasty, Claire slips away. She drives to the old family property near the lake, where the trees seem to whisper secrets from generations past. But when her car is found abandoned near the trailhead, panic erupts. Victoria, Cole, and even Victor himself realize that this is not just about a young woman clearing her mind. Something deeper, darker, and possibly dangerous is unfolding. The tension in the Newman mansion builds as Victoria blames herself for pushing Claire too far. She recalls their recent argument about trust and responsibility, and her heart shatters at the thought that her daughter may have gone off searching for answers in the very woods where old family pain still lingers. Meanwhile, Cole refuses to sit by helplessly. He knows Claire's soul better than anyone, her curiosity, her compassion, and her tendency to run straight toward danger if it means uncovering the truth. As the hours pass, the Newmans gather search teams, calling on Nick, Nikki, and even Adam for help. The family's old wounds resurface in the face of crisis, and everyone feels the weight of history pressing down. But deep in those woods, Claire's journey is more spiritual than physical. She follows a faint melody, a song she remembers from her childhood, one her grandmother once hummed when the world felt too heavy. The sound leads her to a hidden clearing where an old, forgotten cottage stands covered in ivy. Inside, the air feels heavy with secrets. Dust floats through the sunlight streaming in from cracked windows. On the walls are faded photos, some familiar, some unknown, and among them, Claire finds something that makes her heart stop. A photograph of herself as a child, with someone she doesn't recognize. The discovery triggers a flood of memories. Claire remembers moments she thought were dreams, a voice whispering her name, a lullaby sung in the dark, a woman's soft hand brushing her hair. Was Jordan not the only one who shaped her tragic past? Could there have been another guardian, another figure who protected her when everything else fell apart? As Claire digs deeper into the cottage, she finds a hidden compartment under the floorboards. Inside are letters written decades ago, addressed to "My Sweet Grace." The letters speak of guilt, love, and a promise to keep her safe from the darkness. The handwriting, delicate and hauntingly familiar, sends chills down Claire's spine. She realizes that the truth about her childhood, and her real connection to the Newmans, might not be what she's been told. Back in town, the search party grows desperate. Victoria receives a call from local authorities saying a storm is rolling in, making the woods treacherous. Cole insists on going in alone, following his instincts. He knows that if anyone can reach Claire, it's him. As lightning crackles in the distance, Cole shouts her name through the rain-soaked trees. Then, faintly, he hears it, her voice calling back. When he finds her, she's clutching the old letters, tears mixing with raindrops on her face. She's pale, shaken, but alive. When he asks what she found, Claire's words are barely a whisper, the truth about us. The two return to the mansion, where the family gathers to hear what Claire has discovered. She lays out the letters on the table, her voice trembling as she explains that someone, perhaps an old Newman relative, had hidden a child years ago, keeping her existence secret for reasons no one yet understands. The room fills with shock and confusion. Victor, always the patriarch, demands answers. Nikki feels her knees buckle as memories surface of a time long ago when she and Victor made painful choices to protect their family's reputation. Could Claire's existence have been part of a cover-up orchestrated by forces even they didn't fully comprehend? As the storm rages outside, the emotional storm within the Newman home intensifies. Cole comforts Claire, but Victoria struggles with the revelation that the family's past sins may have shaped her daughter's suffering. For years, the Newmans believed Jordan's manipulation created the fractured young woman they knew, but now, it appears she was simply a victim of generations of buried secrets. Over the next few days, Claire becomes obsessed with finding out more about the woman who wrote the letters. She returns to the woods with Cole's help, determined to uncover the rest of the story. This time, they discover a trunk hidden behind the fireplace in the old cottage. Inside are journals and photos that reveal a decades-old affair, one that links the Newman and Abbott families in ways no one imagined. The revelation sends shockwaves across Genoa City. Claire realizes that she may have a connection not only to the Newmans but possibly to the Abbotts as well, an explosive twist that could rewrite Genoa City history forever. The tangled threads of betrayal, forbidden love, and generational guilt threaten to unravel everything Victor built. The old rivalry between Victor and Jack reignites as rumors swirl that the secret affair could explain some of the mysterious events that have haunted both families for years. Jack confronts Victor, demanding the truth, while Victoria struggles to process the possibility that her daughter's DNA might connect her to the Abbott line. Meanwhile, Claire feels torn between two worlds, the family that raised her in lies and the legacy she might truly belong to. As she pieces together the puzzle, Claire begins to see her disappearance into the woods as destiny rather than accident. The place that once symbolized fear and isolation becomes her sanctuary for truth. She decides to share what she's learned publicly, forcing the Newmans to face their past once and for all. In a powerful scene, Claire stands before her family and declares that she will no longer be defined by their secrets or mistakes. "I may have been born from lies," she says, her voice steady, "but I'll live in truth." Her courage inspires Victoria to finally open up about her own pain, and even Victor, the man who has controlled every outcome for decades, finds himself humbled. The woods that nearly consumed Claire become a symbol of rebirth, a place where she found not only answers but herself. The journey transforms her from a timid girl haunted by the past into a strong woman who refuses to be trapped by it. In the final moments of this emotional saga, Claire returns to the clearing where it all began. The storm has passed, and the sunlight filters through the trees. She lays the letters to rest beneath a new sapling, a symbol of growth, healing, and the future she's ready to build. As she walks away, a gentle breeze carries the faint echo of that lullaby once more, reminding her that the truth, no matter how painful, always sets us free. Claire Grace Newman's disappearance into the woods wasn't a tragedy, it was a revelation. What she discovered wasn't just a family secret, it was her identity, her strength, and her voice. And now, Genoa City will never be the same again. A secret map, a hidden door, and Claire Grace Newman's wildest adventure yet, fans can't believe what she found. Genoa City has seen its share of drama, but nothing compares to the jaw-dropping discovery Claire Grace Newman makes in her latest storyline. Once the timid young woman struggling to escape the shadows of her past, Claire has evolved into one of the most fascinating and mysterious figures on The Young and the Restless. But just when fans thought her story had reached its emotional peak, the writers have thrown in a shocking twist involving an old family secret, a mysterious map, and a hidden door that could rewrite Newman history forever. It begins on an ordinary morning at the Newman ranch. Claire, trying to find peace after recent turmoil, is helping Nicky organize old storage boxes in the wine cellar. What seems like a simple chore quickly takes a strange turn when a box falls from the shelf and splits open, scattering papers across the floor. As Claire gathers them, her attention catches on an old, yellowed envelope tucked beneath a ledger from the 1980s. The envelope bears Victor's handwriting and a seal that hasn't been broken in decades. Her curiosity piqued, Claire hesitates before opening it, but when she does, a piece of parchment slides out, marked with faded ink and a hand-drawn sketch that appears to be a map. At first, she assumes it's just an old blueprint of the ranch, but as she studies the markings, the strange symbols, the cryptic directions, and the note scrawled at the bottom that reads, "Only the rightful Newman may find it," she realizes she's stumbled onto something monumental. When Nicky walks in, Claire quickly hides the map, not wanting to alarm her. But later that night, she can't shake the feeling that it's calling to her. The next day, Claire brings the map to her father, Cole Howard. He recognizes the handwriting instantly, it's Victor's. But when Claire asks him about it, he looks uneasy. That map, he says, was part of a family legend. Victor never wanted anyone to find what it leads to. Claire's intrigue only grows. Against her father's warnings, she decides to follow the map's clues. As she retraces the lines across the Newman property, she finds that each symbol corresponds to a landmark, the old stables, the oak tree by the lake, the path near the vineyard. But one symbol, a circle within a triangle, doesn't match anything she knows. After days of searching, she finally spots it carved into the bark of a tree deep in the woods. Beneath it, half buried under roots and leaves, is a small metal latch. When she pulls it, the ground gives way slightly, revealing a trapdoor. Claire's heart races. She calls Cole for help, but before he arrives, curiosity takes over. She opens the door and descends the creaking wooden steps into darkness. The air is cold and still. Dust swirls in her flashlight beam. What she finds below sends shivers down her spine, a secret underground chamber filled with relics, journals, and photographs dating back decades. Old Newman family portraits line the walls, but some faces are crossed out in red ink. In one corner sits a locked chest engraved with the initials VN. When Cole finally finds her, Claire's trembling but exhilarated. Together, they manage to pry open the chest, and inside is a collection of documents that detail a secret Victor Newman kept buried for over 40 years. Among them are deeds to properties no one knew existed, and letters addressed to someone named Eleanor Grace. The name hits Claire like lightning. Grace was her middle name, a name given to her by Jordan, the woman who manipulated and traumatized her for years. Could it be that the name wasn't random after all? As Claire digs through the letters, she discovers that Eleanor Grace was a woman who once worked for the Newmans, a caretaker who vanished mysteriously after an incident on the estate decades ago. The more Claire reads, the clearer it becomes, Eleanor may have been connected to her in ways no one ever realized. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Victor notices something off with Claire. He questions her about her long absences, but she deflects. Yet when Nikki accidentally mentions that Claire has been spending time near the old woods, Victor's demeanor changes. His expression hardens. He warns Nikki not to let Claire wander there, muttering, "Some doors are better left closed." But for Claire, the door is already open, literally and figuratively. Over the following week, she and Cole pieced together Eleanor's story. The caretaker had discovered a secret Newman project involving a land deal that was meant to remain off the books, one tied to an event that could have destroyed the family's reputation at the time. When Eleanor threatened to expose the truth, she disappeared without a trace. The map, it seems, was Victor's way of burying the evidence, while also leaving a trail only someone of Newman blood could follow. Claire's emotions swirl between fear and determination. The discovery connects her to the Newman name in a new, almost spiritual way. It's as if fate led her to uncover the truth that's been haunting the family for generations. Cole urges her to tread carefully, but Claire can't ignore the feeling that this is her destiny, to uncover the truth and bring peace to the ghost of Eleanor Grace. One evening, while rereading the letters, Claire notices something odd, a series of capital letters hidden in the text. She realizes they form a code, the second door. It dawns on her that the underground room isn't the end of the trail but just the beginning. Determined to find the second door, Claire returns to the site under the cover of night. She follows the walls of the chamber, tapping them until she hears a hollow echo. Behind an old cabinet, she discovers another sealed entrance. This one is made of stone, with a carved emblem, a rose entwined with a serpent. With Cole's help, she breaks through the wall, revealing a narrow passage. They step inside, their flashlights illuminating an ancient-looking corridor leading to a small stone room. In the center sits a pedestal, and upon it rests an ornate wooden box. Claire opens it to find an antique key, an old photograph of Eleanor holding a baby, and a note that reads, "For my true heir." Claire's world stops spinning. Could she be the baby in the photo? The resemblance is undeniable, the same eyes, the same birthmark on the shoulder barely visible in the faded image. She suddenly realizes that her connection to Eleanor Grace isn't just historical, it's personal. Eleanor wasn't just a caretaker. She was her grandmother. The revelation sends Claire reeling. Everything she thought she knew about her past, about Jordan, and about the Newmans, is turned upside down. Jordan didn't invent her identity out of thin air, she built it on stolen truth. As word of the discovery spreads, the Newman family is thrown into chaos. Victor is livid when he learns that Claire disobeyed his warning, but beneath his anger lies guilt. He admits to Nikki that decades ago, he tried to protect the family from scandal after Eleanor uncovered confidential information. But he never meant for the truth about her child to vanish with her. Now, as Claire stands before him, holding the key that symbolizes generations of secrets, Victor realizes that his attempt to control fate has once again backfired. Claire's discovery doesn't just connect her to the Newmans, it solidifies her place within the family's legacy. But the story doesn't end there. The mysterious key she found turns out to open a compartment hidden within the walls of the Newman mansion itself. Inside, she uncovers Eleanor's final journal, revealing her thoughts in the days before her disappearance. The entries tell of love, betrayal, and fear, and hint that she was close to someone within the family who promised to keep her child safe. Claire reads the last entry aloud, "If they find me, they'll take her. But she will grow strong, and one day she'll return home." It's a prophecy fulfilled in the most poetic way imaginable. The revelation heals old wounds while opening new questions. Who was Eleanor's lover? Why did the family hide her child instead of claiming her? And what other secrets lie buried within the Newman empire? The emotional aftermath is explosive. Nikki weeps, realizing that her family's empire was built on secrets that hurt more people than they ever knew. Victoria hugs her daughter tighter than ever, whispering that she's proud of her courage. And Victor, humbled but defiant, promises that the Newmans will face their past together. Claire, once lost in the shadows of manipulation, now stands at the center of her own legacy, brave, self-assured, and unafraid of the truth. She decides to restore Eleanor's name, commissioning a memorial garden on the ranch where the hidden door once lay. In the final, breathtaking moment, Claire buries the old map beneath the rosebushes, symbolizing the end of one mystery and the beginning of a new chapter. The camera pans out as she walks away, sunlight glinting through the trees, her hair blowing in the wind, a woman reborn, a Newman by heart and by spirit. Fans are still reeling from this astonishing twist. What started as a simple household task turned into a full-blown adventure of identity, courage, and destiny. A secret map, a hidden door, and a past resurrected, Claire Grace Newman has proven that the greatest treasures aren't gold or power but truth, legacy, and the strength to face what lies behind every locked door. Claire Grace Newman's daring escape turns into a shocking revelation. The truth changes everything. The walls of Genoa City have witnessed many secrets, but none as haunting or powerful as the truth Claire Grace Newman uncovers after a daring escape that leaves fans breathless. Once a fragile soul struggling to find her place in a family known for its power and scandal, Claire's latest storyline pushes her to the edge of both danger and destiny. What begins as a desperate flight for freedom becomes a revelation that rewrites not only her own identity but the entire Newman legacy. It all starts with a betrayal. After weeks of manipulation and lies, Claire finds herself trapped once again, but this time, not by Jordan or her past demons. This time, the trap comes from within the Newman empire itself. A business deal gone wrong has brought chaos to the family, and when Victor begins to suspect that someone leaked sensitive information, all eyes turn to Claire. The accusation shatters her. Despite everything she's done to prove her loyalty, she's once again viewed as the outsider, the damaged girl who can't be trusted. Victoria tries to defend her, but Victor's fury is relentless. The confrontation grows heated, voices echo through the mansion, and in a moment of heartbreak, Claire runs. The storm outside mirrors the one inside her heart as she jumps into her car and speeds. Rain-slick road, and she crashes near the edge of the forest, the same woods that have haunted her since childhood. Disoriented and injured, she stumbles into the trees, desperate to disappear from a world that never believed in her. As the Newman family scrambles to find her, fear grips Victoria. Memories of the last time Claire vanished flood back, and she refuses to lose her daughter again. Cole joins the search, his instincts telling him this isn't just a runaway moment, it's destiny pulling Claire towards something hidden. And he's right. Deep in the forest, Claire takes refuge in an abandoned cabin. The storm rages outside, lightning flashing through cracked windows. Inside, she wraps herself in a dusty blanket and lights a lantern she finds on the table. That's when she notices it, a symbol etched into the wooden floor beneath the dirt. A small cross inside a circle, identical to one she's seen before, on a necklace Jordan once gave her. The sight freezes her in place. She brushes away more dirt and uncovers a trapdoor. Her heart pounds as she opens it, revealing a set of stairs leading underground. Despite the fear clawing at her chest, something compels her to descend. The air grows colder as she reaches a dimly lit chamber lined with boxes and old furniture. One corner glints with metal, a filing cabinet, rusted but intact. Inside, she finds folders labeled with names she recognizes: Newman Enterprises, Hope Wilson, Cole Howard, Eleanor Grace. That last one makes her gasp. The name again. She pulls the file open and finds photographs, letters, and a birth certificate that makes her blood run cold. It lists the name of a child born decades ago, a girl named Clara Eleanor Grace. The mother, Eleanor Grace. The father's name, shockingly, is left blank. But the date of birth lines up perfectly with her own. As realization dawns, tears fill her eyes. She's not just connected to Eleanor Grace, she is her descendant. The name Jordan gave her, the middle name Grace, wasn't random at all. Jordan must have known this truth all along and twisted it into her manipulation. Claire clutches the papers, her heart pounding with a mix of anger and clarity. This was what her past had been hiding. Back at the ranch, Victor grows increasingly uneasy. His intuition tells him that the forest is once again at the center of the family's storm. He orders Nick and Adam to help with the search while Nikki comforts Victoria, who blames herself for everything. "She just wanted to belong," Victoria whispers through tears. "And I pushed her away." Meanwhile, Claire begins to piece together the puzzle from the letters she found. They reveal that Eleanor Grace once worked for Victor in the early days of Newman Enterprises. She was loyal, intelligent, and brave, but she uncovered a secret about a business deal that could have destroyed Victor's empire. Instead of silencing her, Victor tried to protect her by sending her away. But before she left, Eleanor gave birth to a daughter, a child that vanished after her disappearance. That child's identity was erased, her records buried in a web of deception. That child was Claire's mother. The revelation shatters everything Claire thought she knew. Jordan wasn't her savior, she was the one who found the child of Eleanor Grace and used her as a pawn in a revenge game that stretched across generations. Claire realizes that she is both victim and heir, the living key to a legacy that Victor himself tried to hide. Her escape wasn't an accident, it was fate guiding her to the truth. As morning breaks, Cole finds the wrecked car and follows her tracks into the forest. When he discovers the open trapdoor, his heart nearly stops. He climbs down, calling her name until he hears her voice echo back. When he reaches her, she's clutching the papers like lifelines. "Dad," she whispers, tears streaming down her face. "I found her. I found me." Back at the Newman mansion, Claire lays the evidence out before her family. The air is thick with tension as she recounts every detail: the cabin, the letters, the connection to Eleanor Grace. Victor listens in silence, his face unreadable. When she's done, he slowly admits the truth: decades ago, Eleanor had fallen in love with someone within the Newman orbit. When she became pregnant, Victor helped conceal her identity to protect everyone involved. "It wasn't to hurt anyone," he says quietly. "It was to keep the family safe." But secrets never stay buried. The room is silent. Victoria, overwhelmed, takes her daughter's hand. "You were never a mistake," she says softly. "You were the missing piece." But the story doesn't end there. Days later, Claire receives another clue, a letter tucked inside one of Eleanor's journals. It references a final confession hidden in the Newman archives. With Cole's help, she gains access to the old Newman records and uncovers a sealed envelope marked with Victor's old signature. Inside is a confession written by Eleanor herself, addressed to her child. In it, Eleanor reveals that she was coerced into disappearing, that powerful people in Genoa City wanted her silenced because she knew too much. She also writes of a promise, that her child would one day rise above the lies and reclaim what was stolen. Claire weeps as she reads the final line: "The truth will not destroy you. It will free you." The message transforms her. For the first time, she sees her past not as a curse, but as a journey toward truth. She decides to honor her grandmother by using the knowledge she's uncovered to help others. Instead of letting the Newman legacy define her, she redefines it. In a powerful scene, Claire confronts Victor once more, not with anger, but with resolve. "You taught everyone in this family to fight for power," she says. "But I'm going to fight for truth." Victor, humbled, nods. "Then you're more of a Newman than I ever was." The moment marks a turning point not only for Claire but for the entire Newman clan. Old wounds begin to heal. Victoria and Cole find a new sense of unity through their daughter's strength. Even Nikki sees echoes of her younger self in Claire's resilience, the courage to face the truth no matter the cost. As weeks pass, Claire begins to rebuild her life. She returns to the cabin one last time, not to run, but to say goodbye. She leaves the letters and papers there as a memorial to Eleanor Grace, sealing the past with gratitude rather than grief. When she steps outside, sunlight streams through the trees, casting a golden glow over the forest. In that moment, she knows she's free. Claire's daring escape wasn't just an act of desperation, it was a journey into her own history, a confrontation with the ghosts that once haunted her. What she discovered didn't just change her story, it changed everything for the Newmans. The truth she uncovered revealed that strength doesn't come from power or wealth but from courage, the courage to face what's been hidden and to emerge stronger than ever. Fans are calling it one of the most emotional and transformative arcs in The Young and the Restless in years. Claire Grace Newman, once broken and misunderstood, has become the heart of redemption in Genoa City, and her story is only just beginning. Because now that the truth has set her free, there's no telling what she'll uncover next. Did she mean a compulsion for skydiving or race car driving? Or is Holden involved in criminal activities? So, let's see what exactly Audra meant by Holden living dangerously. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of October 13, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next.